Hello YouTube, this is Millennial Markets. I'm Jacob, this is Jared, and today we'll be talking about some of the steps we're taking to ensure a nice and very comfortable retirement. And so we'll begin our day here with Jared Crane because he has all the bells and whistles. So we'll let him go and kind of talk about what he's got going on over there. He's got some big dog stuff.
So I guess this big dog stuff that he's referring to is just kind of the stuff I've set up, leading up to now. A couple of years ago I set up my Roth IRA through a company here in town.
Which one? Which company?
Northwestern Mutual.
Okay, oh that one, that place, yeah. Not that it's bad, Jared, me and Northwestern Mutual have a small history. So you have Northwestern Mutual, which is a very interesting decision. Is there any particular reason? So like when you were researching for where to open up your Roth, because I mean, I imagine when somebody's like, yeah, I want to invest, but the first question is just like, well, first of all, you go, how do you invest? Then you figure out you have to have a broker, right? And then the next question is typically, well, what's the best broker for me? And so when you were deciding what's the best broker for, maybe you didn't do that question, maybe you just glossed over it, which is fine. I mean, a Roth IRA, dude, is a Roth IRA. It doesn't really matter where it's at, given that it's not in some shady company.
Yeah.
Which I don't even think Robinhood offers it, but if they did, I would stay so far away from it, it wouldn't even be funny. I don't think they do, though. I don't know. I don't use it. I think it's a garbage.
Yeah, I use Robinhood. They don't have that option.
They don't have that. Did you look?
Probably for a good reason. Well, when I was narrowing it down, of course, it was between TD and Northwestern Mutual, just because they were so close, and the people I talked to just talked about how easy it was to manage those accounts and how their platform was easy, very user-friendly, and I guess that's what really stuck out. But the reason why Northwestern Mutual above TD was, I don't know if you remember Gray.
Yeah.
So Gray was in those positions where they reach out to everyone they know, they ask for the number and email, they ask if you know people in a similar boat as you and their number and email so they can reach out. Basically do the same thing, they call, ask if they need those financial services, if they need any insurances of that regard. So it was more, I guess, I was helping him out in that regard. I mean, to me, TD and Northwestern were pretty similar, and again, I was just going for a Roth. It's a Roth IRA.
Yeah.
That's really, it's really kind of why it was chosen there. And then, of course, as I'm getting married soon, I decided, well, I might as well get life insurance now, because again, I'm going to be married and I do plan to have kids. So.
Yeah. Do you want to describe your plan for life insurance? See, I don't have life insurance because I'm single. And then the only time that I think would probably be fine for somebody such as myself to have life insurance would be, I bet you it's a scammer. Hello? It's a scammer. Speaking of it, though, they're probably going to call me back, but speaking of that person was just calling me about insurance. So, at least it wasn't my extended car warranty this time.
Yeah.
Anyways, so before this scammer called me, what was I talking about?
Basically, what that life insurance policy was, and I guess you were saying.
Oh yeah. So the only useful thing for somebody like my age would be say you don't really have any money, and you can't afford your funeral, for example, because the average funeral in America costs $10,000. It could be more, it could be a little bit less. Just kind of depends on where you are. So if you don't have $10,000 and you don't want your family to take on the financial burden of your death, if it come to be, life insurance in essence would pay for that. And whoever you have as your beneficiary would receive the rest of the money depending on how much you choose to have be paid out, because you can have different amounts, right?
Yeah.
And that's the only one, but but most of it's just dude, if you're dead, you're dead. And so whatever $10,000, I don't know, I don't care, I'm dead, dude. So.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit different for him, so we'll let him speak.
So I guess if it's really pertinent, I chose a term 500,000 insurance policy. Basically what that means is up until I believe I'm 69. So if I were to die, if I turn 69 and I die a day after, my life insurance policy will basically, it won't exist. My beneficiaries wouldn't receive anything. It would just be, I paid all that for no reason. But the reason why I chose the term instead of the perm was because right now it was cheaper, and at the time I set it up, I was looking for a cheaper payment, and from my advisor when I was talking with them, they had stated that you can change it from term to perm at any point. And so, well, if I can pay lower now and then in like 10 years switch it to a perm, then that'd be fine. It's just you're
it goes to 69 years anyway, so theoretically by the time that you're even 69, life insurance in and of itself would probably be pretty useless.
Yeah.
Quote unquote. I mean, you still have the amount that you've paid in, so like you still have a cash value of whatever life insurance you have. But I mean, you're not going to be dependent upon it because you should already have it.
And that's the thing. It was more. The reason why I chose the term was because I do plan to retire millionaire. I do plan for that basically not to really mean anything because of how I've set myself up in my family. It was just more for in the event that something does happen before that age, my wife and children, if I do have children at that time, won't be out of setting stuff up, as you said earlier, setting up a funeral. I mean, $10,000, yeah, but you know, if I have any liabilities still in my name that need to be paid off, it'd go towards that as well.
Yeah, I mean, technically, I do have life insurance for that exact same reason. I don't know what the amount is on the policy. Probably like 20,000, maybe. 30,000. I don't know. I'm not the one who set it up. I'm not the one who paid. I just agreed to it. Mm-hmm. So they're paying it, and I agreed that they would be the beneficiary of that amount. So I die. So technically there is a life insurance policy under my name, but I have nothing to do with it because I'm not paying for it, so I don't care. Yeah. I mean.
And then
yeah.
So in some other regards, for how I'm basically setting up for my future.
Which is fine because I want them to set up. Like if I do happen to die, the funeral services will be paid for, and they'll be the beneficiary of that to help that set up, and whatever extra money they get of it. Okay, whatever. I don't care. I'm dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
sure.
I could literally care less.
I'm in the same boat. I'm gone.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter anymore. But some other stuff I had set up, of course, I set up my 401k through work, but it's been giving me the business trying to get on here. It's through a census, but in order for me to get there, I have to log in through my work's website portal, which I then have to dual authenticate. And basically by the time I get there, I'm either white screened or there's nothing to show. So it's definitely something I should get on top of. So 401k as well as the Roth, and then what I've done for my personal stuff aside from that is set up a brokerage through TD Ameritrade, and that's
he finally switched it. He used to have it in Robinhood, and I talked to him for weeks about this. I feel it must have been weeks, telling about why Robinhood is such a bad place to put your money. Yeah. It's good if you're a noob and you only have a couple grand in there, and then say you do have a couple grand. Well, once you start getting like 10, 20, 30,000, Robinhood is not the place to have your money. I can assure you. Actually, speaking of that, dude, we're gonna make a video explaining why Robinhood is so bad. I'm gonna make a video about it because it is that bad, bro. I don't care. And the CEO is a complete freaking joke of a human being. Ugh.
I decided it was time to put on my big boy pants and get a man's brokerage account. But yeah, so that was more for what I plan to do with these videos when we talk about all these DCFs and making when we're checking the cash flow statements, all these stocks that we look at and we decide would that be good or not. That's kind of what that accounts for. Just more of the personal. If I do get something out of it, congratulations to me. If not, I still have my 401k and my Roth to set me up for the future as well.
Yeah, and for his Roth, he's already told me, but I guess share with them like what you invest in your Roth.
So I of course max it out every month. There's no
it's a big deal. Max out your Roth. It's only $6,000 a year. It's a steal. It is tax-free money come retirement. Mm-hmm. It's better than a 401k because you don't have to. That's tax deferred, right? Roth is tax free. Well, at the end of it, you pay your taxes already. But
yeah. But it would just be such a pain to see that money and then pay 30% when you could get taken out. I mean, that would hurt a lot. So
get shredded.
But I mean, $500 a month now, so $6,000 a year to, I forgot what our calculation was, just doing the numbers on the computer. But to retire a millionaire, I mean, that's easy.
Yeah, I think I did a calculation. I forget if it was 300 or 400. I'm forgetting. But anyway, it was in the vicinity at like in 7. I did multiple interest rates and stuff. But if you do like a 9% interest rate of return, the amount is like somewhere between 1.2 and 1.5 million. And that's a 40-year time frame. So I'm 24. I plan to retire at 65. So I didn't do 41 years. I just yossed a 40-piecer on there. I yossed a 40-piecer on there for Jared, even though he's been doing it a little bit longer. Just say 40 years, dude. I mean, come on.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, that's basically all I really have to kind of contribute to what I have set up in my regard in my personal life and what I'm doing there. I guess the most I can speak of.
Yeah, so in essence, he has a 401k, he has a Roth IRA that he maxes out, he has a personal investment account, and for his family and wife, he has life insurance. So those are the 4 things that Jared does, and statistically speaking, he has a high probability of retiring a millionaire, even though he's not a millionaire now. But you guys do those things, and you do the math behind it, it is incredibly likely that you retire a millionaire. So for me, I guess I already said it. I guess technically I have life insurance, but I disregard that. That's not mine. I mean, it is, but it isn't.
So I guess I apologize. So it's in your name, but you're having your beneficiary pay that price. So basically, I see what you mean.
Yeah. So they set it up. I agree to, because legally you have to agree and everything to it. Yeah. So it's just like, this is Jacob Wiseman's life insurance. They pay for it monthly, and they've signed themselves as the beneficiary with my agreement and consent.
Of course. Okay. All right.
Now, so I also have a Roth IRA that I max out. You didn't even talk about what you invest in your Roth IRA. It's the S&P 500, just FYI. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I do have a Roth. I do max it out, so $500 a month, so $250 every paycheck. I get paid bi-monthly, so on the 15th of every month, I put $250 in, and then either the 28th for February, 30th for every other given month, and 31st, if the month happens to fall on that, I yoss another $250 in there. So $500 a month or $6,000 for every fiscal year. Which actually I probably should be putting more in, because I think it ends on, what day does it end? I know there's a 365 period that it doesn't matter when you start putting in, that there's a cutoff where 6,000 has to be put in. So I started a little bit after that cutoff period. And so if I just do $500 a month, I'll miss out on like the ability to put $1,000 in per se. So I guess come January 1st or something, I'll just toss in however much.
The difference?
Yeah, the difference of what I had missed out on previously, yeah. And I invest $400 a month into VT, and then $100 a month into a speculative asset. So, which I don't want you guys investing in because it's incredibly speculative. But VT pays a dividend, and it's as diversified as you can get. Now, technically you can diversify it even better by doing different weights with various ETFs that are completely separate from each other, so you can weight it how you would like. It's complex for the average person. I wouldn't really particularly recommend it for any normal person, but then I'm not a financial advisor. I just say buy VT. It's by far the easiest way to go. It has underperformed the S&P 500 over the past 10 years, and even though that's the case, I don't know how long the world will underperform the U.S. I mean, the U.S. can't grow at a mammoth rate every year for the next 40. I mean, it's just not possible. So I do suspect that the world economy may tend to grow a little bit faster, maybe China. I mean, I'm looking for India, the emerging markets, to come up. I mean, they have 1 billion people there. I mean, in the next 40 years, I feel like they might do something. I don't know. There's not a lot of money in particularly the emerging markets area. But I wouldn't be surprised if India started taking off and the U.S. started showing some slowing growth and whatnot. Africa, for example, more emerging markets. Yeah, you just invest it around the world, so you really diversify away. So, $400 a month in that, and $100 a month in speculative asset, and then I have a personal broker account where I invest, and that's where we discuss the stocks that I own. So I currently own 2 stocks in that personal account, and I invest like $250 to $500 every month into that. Just whatever I can yas over there. And I own Alibaba and Intel. Is there anything else? Oh yeah, I don't have a 401k, but I act like I do because in the next 2 months I will have a 401k.
Yeah.
So I mean, I might as well.
I guess for your work, do you have to like wait till you're working there a certain amount of time?
Yeah, it's a 6 month time frame. Mm-hmm. I've only been working there for 4 months. February 4th.
February 4th.
Yeah. And so what is 6 months from February? What's the 10th month? Is it September? September the 10th month? Or is it October?
I
don't know.
Month. It would be.
Wait.
No,
it would be the 8th month. It would be the 8th month. Yeah, because I started in February. So I don't know, March, April, May, June, July, August. August. So August 4th, you can bet your bottom I will be with my boss setting up that 401k promptly. The day that it happens. I thought I had to also wait to get medical benefits, which I don't need medical benefits. My dad, it's under my insurance for the next like year and a half, because my dad works for the government. But dental and eye vision, I haven't seen an eye doctor, bro, in God knows how long.
I mean, that's fine. When was the last time you were at the dentist?
It's been like 8 years, dude. It's been like 8 years. It's so bad. It's so bad.
At least I keep my teeth clean, but.
Yeah, no, it's not good. But I thought I had to wait 6 months, and then I work in the finance department, and I do payroll stuff. And so, like, we're talking in the chats, and it's like, oh, X person, X this, X that. It's been like a week, and they don't qualify for this. I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, so I can qualify for this? I thought I had to wait for 6 months, but apparently I qualify for it now, so I'm waiting on that email. Actually, in fact, I'm going to message the person tomorrow at work. I'm not even playing, dude. I want to go to the dentist.
Yeah.
I want to go to the dentist. And so, yeah, pretty much, guys, that's what we do. We just have multiple accounts in different areas. So we have our tax-free accounts. We have our tax-deferred accounts. I don't know if mine's Roth or if it is a traditional 401k. I don't know. But what I can say is you got to have your money in multiple areas. All these retirement accounts, is you can only put so much into each one. Well, you can put a lot into your 401k. I guess technically you probably don't have a limit, but you much prefer to put it into your Roth IRA. You probably at least somewhat prefer to yacht some money over into your traditional account because the more autonomy. See, the thing about 401ks is you don't really have that much autonomy. And so they give you X funds that you can buy into. Some of those funds, depending on your company, could have absolutely grotesque annual fees associated with them. Because I remember seeing some, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm losing money. It's like ridiculous. Yeah. So that is our plan for becoming millionaires. And then as we kind of stack up, so we have savings, we save a certain amount. So we invest not only in those accounts, we also have savings. And I forgot to bring this up, Jared. I have multiple savings. So I have 3 different savings accounts. The first savings account pertains to emergency savings. So it's something like, say, I can't afford rent that month because I lost my job. Well, my emergency savings would help cover that. My second savings account goes into a car account. So I loan myself however much my vehicle's worth. My vehicle out there is worth like $6,000. So I loaned myself $6,000 at a 4.5% interest rate over a 5-year term. I pay it off like it's a 3-year term. I don't know. But either way, I'm still paying the same amount of interest. And so I pay myself every month with interest so that when that car goes down, I again have the cash to purchase another vehicle, and at least I'm paying myself every time, and I'm not paying the bank and watching my money go away. So if you pay yourself this interest, your money for those new cars is always growing. So over the lifetime, you'll be able to buy a nicer car, theoretically, if you so wanted a nicer car. But the most important thing is you don't have to pay a bank, which I think is a pretty big deal. If you're going to pay anybody, pay yourself. Let's put it that way. The third savings account. What is my third savings account? It's not even on this one. It's not in my bank. Where's that one at? What does it do? Yeah, this is, so the emergency savings one, and then the car savings one, and then this is like the extraneous savings. So this includes savings for whatever I want to do. Maybe I want to go on a vacation. I plan on going down to Florida sometime because I want to go paramotoring, and that's going to cost me like $10,000. So I'm trying to save up $10,000. But also within that account, I could create a fourth account that's separate. But I'm also saving up for a down payment. So it's kind of like all conglomerated into this one specific extraneous account that is for down payments on homes, because we plan on being landlords, or at least having some type of equity in real estate. So with all that combined together, you guys should have a strong plan pretty much of what you're doing with your money, what that money will become in the future, so then you can have a better grasp of what your future finances will look like come retirement. And that is kind of the point of this video, and why we explain what we do and why we do it. So that's Millennial Markets. It's Jacob. That's Jared. We're about to record another video right now, but peace out until next time.